Welcome to the latest F1 Gamer Dad video. If you haven't joined us before, welcome to the channel. We like to dissect all things F1 and currently enjoying the 2021 variant of the game. This video, we're going to be looking at assists and we're going to be going through them one by one, explaining as much as possible from a beginner's perspective, but also from someone such as myself who has been playing the games for a while. Think you've got to a reasonable level where you can go quick, you can enjoy online modes, but you just want to eke that little extra bit of performance out every time you pick up the controller or get behind the wheel. And you might not know what some of the assists actually help with and what turning them off might do to the balance of the car or increase speed. So we're going to go through each of them one by one, and hopefully you'll learn a couple of things. Hopefully if you have plateaued or you've gotten to a level where you might just want an extra tenth here or there, one of these assists, changing the settings, might just get you to where you want to go. So without further ado, let's head over into the settings to go through our first assist. Now, when you get over into the settings panel and the assists area, you've got the first one, which is driving proficiency. I would always ignore this and really go for your own layout. It suggests some different presets, but you want to choose your own mixture that suits you best. So I'd recommend bypassing that for the moment and focusing on the individual assists themselves. The first cab off the rank is the steering assist, and it might sound strange, but I actually do like this assist for a couple of different scenarios. So say you're just picking up the game and you want to focus on turning another specific assist off, you might use steering assist just to take that little bit of hassle away so you can focus on the other area that you want to learn. The other angle is kids. If kids want to pick up the game and play with you, or if you're teaching a young one to actually learn how to drive a race car, steering assist can really come in handy to give them the confidence to focus on the other aspects of racing as well. So I wouldn't completely discard this, but it might not be the most effective assist for someone who has picked up the game before or who does have basic knowledge of driving a race car. Now, secondly, braking assist. I'm going to put braking assist into the same category as steering assist. It's probably not something you're going to use if you are experienced in car racing games and car racing and driving in general, but it might just be that one where you put it on low and it's that extra safety barrier for someone who's just getting going to then learn how to turn off the racing line or learn how to turn off ABS or using another different assist. Braking assist might just be that safety net, that barrier to get you through to learn the other assist. Next up, ABS, or anti-lock brakes. Personally, one of my favorite assists. What this means when it's turned on is you can brake around a corner, you can slam the brakes on as hard as possible with full 100% brake pressure. Those brakes are not going to lock the wheels, so you're not going to flat spot any tires. Not going to go through sets in practice or in the race and ruin those tires. So you can have it on as much as possible, again, while you're learning the other facets of racing. But when you turn them off, it will enable you to go faster because you're really able to focus on key aspects of racing, like braking in a straight line, turn in, carrying corner speed into the apex. So this one is a really critical one when you're really starting to ramp it up and look to get quicker. Assist number 5, traction control, or the ability to handle the slip of the rear wheels on acceleration to stop the back end of the car stepping out. This is one that to be honest, it took me a long time to turn from medium to off. Full, I would say, again, is a very beginner level, but medium is going to, again, just give you that safety net to know that the car is not going to get away from you too easily. You've got that little, that margin of error to do what you need to do. But for me personally, turning traction control off was a game changer. It enabled me to be so much more precise with my acceleration, with my braking, with my turn. It really enabled me to shave tenths upon tenths off my lap times. Now, there's a link down below for my video on how to approach turning off the racing line in F1 2021. I had so much fun actually turning this off and kind of giving that leap of faith to say, you know what, I want to learn proper racing. I don't want to be following a pre-made suggested line that the game has, or the game developers rather, have built for us. I find firstly, you have a lot more fun when you figure it out yourself and you're learning these tracks as you go. but actually you find your own lines. You've got to define your own style of racing, and there's no other way to do that than to learn the braking points, to learn turn in, to learn, you know, the different quirks of the race, the little bumps, the little dips and undulations that come with each different racetrack. So I would approach this in a couple of different phases. The first stage would be turning it to corners only, so that at least in between corners you're not looking at that racing line constantly. And the second one is turning it off and just kind of going cold turkey almost, just committing to not have it there, and then you've got no choice. You need to run practice programs in career mode to learn the tracks. You need to do time trial and lap after lap of discovery, trial and error. This one is a lot of fun to turn off, so I definitely recommend, if you haven't already, or if you've got it on racing on corners only, turn the racing line off. You will not regret it. Next up with the gearbox, another one that I would put into the category of fun driven. If you are anything like me, you love cycling through the gears in manual, not just because there's more performance to be gained, but because it's fun. When I first got my first car, I learned to drive manual to drive the car home. That's how much I wanted to learn to drive a manual. If you're wanting to get faster, the way that the automatic gearbox is in F1 2021, it's very conservative. So it will be wanting to shift gears in the 10,000 RPM range, whereas we want to be bang on between 11,300 and 11,500 every time, as much as possible. Not only for acceleration is this going to help you, but in braking, using the engine to do a lot of the braking, cycling down the gears, choosing when to do that is going to give you an enormous performance advantage over an automatic gearbox. So I would be choosing to turn this one to manual as quickly as possible. Again, if you're looking for more of the fun side, you might want to keep it on automatic, and for the kids as well, for a few less things to worry about. But that is a really fun one to turn off. Now, one assist that I actually did struggle with early on is the pit assist. So pit lane entry and the pit release assist as well. It's one thing where when I was trying to turn off the traction control and ABS, getting the car stopped in pit lane within the speed limit, I really had a lot of trouble with. So that's one where I would say, again, focus on the other areas until you're ready to turn that off, because it's an extra thing that you have to think about that will lose you a significant amount of time in a race. So when you are ready, turn that off. You can be, again, a lot more precise with when you actually do hit the anchors on pit lane, and vice versa, when you exit pit lane, being really precise with pit exit, because some, like Spa for instance, like Baku, you have to really go full lock on pit exit to get the car out of pit lane. So if you're not ready for that, it will lose you a lot of time when you've earned that time so badly during the race. Lastly, ERS and DRS assists. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because essentially it's a push of a button to gain more speed in a straight line. So I feel like when you're ready to do that, it's a very small adaptation for a pretty big gain, and it doesn't take too much mental capacity to actually enable these ones. So I would be turning them off pretty quickly when you get comfortable with the game and the handling mechanics. And it's not going to be a huge gain in performance by turning these off, but it's going to help you with the realism and the simulation effect of the game, because it really adds to the realism of having to actually be pinpoint precise when you cross the DRS line, and the same thing when you're coming out the back of another opponent's car, turning on ERS and maybe DRS at the same time to get that pass done. Hopefully this video has been helpful to show you how turning off some of these assists can get you from beginner to elite versions of yourselves as quickly as possible. If this is the first time you've come to my channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel so you can see more F1 Gamer Dad video content, and hit the bell to be notified as soon as a new video is released. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Goodbye.